Do a quick little headlight resto vid. Doing I honestly couldn't tell you what year Outback this is. Probably like a 06, 07, somewhere around there. These are hammered. There's hardly any clear left on here. It's all faded. It's all gone. Get your hood popped. Grab you your wet sanding materials. I got my 800, 2 sheets of it, one for each headlight, 1,000, or no, this is 15, no, 15, and then 3K. I'm not doing 4 stages, only doing 3. I wiped this down, like I'll show you. Throw some water on it. It's actually not as bad as it seems. It's just really faded. So it should actually come out pretty easy. Camera doesn't do it justice how bad they are though, really. Using wet sand, don't put this face down on the ground. You don't want to pick shit up off the floor, but let's get going. All right, get it all masked off, all good. Kind of ran out of tape on that one, so we're gonna be risking it. But if anything, at the end we're clear coating these, so that's why we got so much tape. If I get a little overspray or just, you know, a little bit of clear down here and there's a line, I can always remove it. A little bit of brake clean on wet paint works just fine to clean it off. So all right, let's get started. Starting with the 800. This is 3M wet or dry P800. Don't use 800 unless your headlights are real bad like this. You only need 3K for mild headlights, 1500 for even, I mean, I almost considered only using 1500, but these are so rough, I just figured I'd start with 8. So all you gotta do, spray them, and then you wanna make sure not to catch any of these corners because you'll leave deep scratches. So I kind of fold it and just go around the whole thing. I always do little circles. Little circles are gonna be your best friend when it comes to doing this. So it's about 4 runs over. In between, like I went over it once, twice, 3, 4 times. Once you go over it, once or twice, give it another spray, keep going. So I skipped right to the 3K. I did 1500 and then 3K, 1500, same thing, 4 passes back and forth. Make sure to keep spraying your water. But with the 3K, what I do, it's less important. I'll do a little bit right here. Less important to do circles, more of you're looking for a smooth finish for a base for your cut when you do cut and buff it before the clear. So this is kind of just the 3K. I probably did 20 passes already just doing stuff like this. And what you're really looking for is just a base. And you want to get all, this 3K will help get all the discrepancies and scratches out that you left with the 800 grit paper and the 1500. And so by the end of it, when all said and done, should be able to go like this. Shouldn't feel anything really. But if you are feeling it and you're feeling some scratches and stuff, just keep going over it. The more prep, the better. Also, if you're using 3M or really any paperback sandpaper like this, you always want to make sure to spray off the actual pad. Like literally spray off the actual pad. Sometimes it'll get stuff caught in the sandpaper from the headlight. So yeah, once again, 800, 1500, and 3K. So you want to get yourself a obviously a buffer and a medium to, it honestly doesn't matter all that much. I like a medium to medium soft kind of cutting pad. This is it's a little old, so it's probably a little harder than medium soft. But you want to get you a good cutting pad and some cutting compound. And you'll start with a cut. You don't need very much compound, but you definitely want enough, like pretty much like one headlight. Honestly, it does not look like a lot. That's all you need. Come over here. It's hard to do with one hand. Come over here. Spread it out. And then start at the lowest you can. Do one or two passes, and then crank it literally right after that. Crank it all the way up as far as you can, and then do 2 solid passes around it. That's after the cut. Looks real good. It's honestly not as clear as I want it to, but sometimes you can't do it all. A lot of this stuff, the outside is probably 100% clear. I was looking at this a little bit harder, and the actual inside of the lens itself is fogged, and there's not a lot you can do about that. So cut, uncut, see the difference. So we'll cut that side, and then it's the same process for the polish part, except I know my polish pad is dirty. Don't worry about it. Except you're gonna want to do it doesn't really matter. You're just gonna want to run maybe 3-4 passes, same thing, and then we'll go from there and show you how to clear coat it. Okay, so it's got to wipe this off. So one very important step that you cannot miss, two actually. One, after you're done buffing and everything, some of the tape's gonna fall off. Make sure to cover that. Besides that, get you some paint thinner. Clean off all of them. Clean them off. You need to use paint thinner. You can't use like a brake clean or a mass airflow clean. You got to use a paint thinner or a pure mineral spirits works good. And it's just to clean the wax off the surface so that when you paint it, it doesn't react with the wax and bubble. This is a very important step. I've missed this before and had to completely redo headlights, so please just use something. Like I said, brake clean is going to screw with the plastic. It's not going to work. So I use 1K clear. It's my favorite that I've found so far. High gloss, 1K. The UV protection is really what I'm looking for in a good clear coat. But just laid it on this one. I found it's way easier to clear on headlights versus an actual paint, honestly, because as you're spraying, you can do like half the headlight at once, go back, do the other half, and it's pretty easy to see where it's too thin or if you're spraying too heavy, because it's see-through, so you can actually see where it's bubbling, and it's pretty easy to get a good coat on there. This is after a little polish on the whole car itself, actually, but turned out pretty good. This is a better video on same year Outback that I did just a couple days ago. They're way better. These lenses are obviously newer, but they were still pretty bad. Not nearly as bad as the other ones, but they were still faded. But as you can see, you can obviously see like little scratches and stuff if you look right from me sanding. It's only if you're looking close. So you can make these things look pretty good.